Hello, soon-to-be parents. You are probably experiencing a ton of excitement, maybe mixed with a little bit of overwhelm. But here's the thing, not every item on those baby registry suggestion checklists are what you need. So today I'm going to share with you 11 items that I very, very strongly recommend you skip. Let's jump right into it. The first item we are going to touch on is a baby lounger. Honestly, if you look, there's always warnings like at the bottom here. You're supposed to use them with adult supervision. They're not supposed to be for sleep. They can actually be dangerous for sleep. It's like, well, then what's the point? Okay. I know they might be snuggly and comfortable, but your baby can also just, lay on the ground. Put a couple of pillows by their hips if you want them to have a little something. You don't need this item. Okay. A lot of times when you get this item, you're going to get multiple covers with it. And then before you know it, they actually outgrow it. I would not recommend it. I think it's one of those things that can become a habit. You put your baby in it all the time. Then they're not rolling and they're not exploring. Or maybe you do use it for sleep. You shouldn't. And all of a sudden, your baby only sleeps in this thing. What happens as they're growing up? So I don't think this is a necessity, and I would strongly recommend skipping. Item number 2 is a bathrobe. Could be for boy, could be for girl. Doesn't matter. I think you should skip it. Get hooded towels if you want. Honestly, you don't even need hooded towels though. You could just use regular bath towels. These are not needed items. Okay, so please skip the robe. It's not practical. You're probably going to get like one bath time picture in it, and then you will never use it again. Just my opinion, but I would skip the bathrobe. Item number 3 are mittens to prevent scratching. Babies do sometimes scratch. You try to cut their nails. It's tricky. They're tiny. I would suggest a file, but even with that, be careful because their skin and their nails are so like thin and soft and delicate. You do need to be careful. Even if your baby's a scratcher, what I would recommend is get a sleeper that has like a cuffed sleeve for the newborn phase. All newborn sleepers should have this cuff on it and it goes over their hand like a mitten. Then you don't need these little mittens floating around. And then another option is if on your baby registry, you go ahead and put like toddler socks on there for when they're a little bit older, then those toddler socks could go on their hands. Okay, newborn socks, probably gonna be too small, but if you go up a size, they could work as mittens for now and socks for later. I would never recommend putting mittens on a baby registry for anyone. I would also say on the rare occasion, you could get like a swaddle set that comes with a set, then you have a set. I would not get very many. If you absolutely insist on getting these, get very neutral ones that match all the outfits. Get like 2 or 3. Don't get a ton of this item. Before you know it, you are done with it. Up next is the diaper genie. It could be any brand, doesn't matter. I don't like them. I don't think that they are a good investment. By the time you buy the genie diaper pail itself, the refills, sometimes you buy like odor eliminators, you can end up with $100 spent on just disposing of diapers. On top of that, it's like more waste than the landfill. We're already disposing of the diapers. Now we're getting special bags for it that were created and da-da-da-da-da. And then we have this diaper pail. Have you ever heard of anybody buying a used diaper pail? Maybe people do it. I don't feel like they do. I feel like people want a new one. So that gets wasted. We have always thrown our diapers in the trash. You can bag them if you want, put them in the trash. You can also take them out to your garage trash can. You could even put a specific diaper trash can in your laundry room, mud room, or right outside your door in your garage. So you're not going to put shoes on to take it out. There are plenty of options available besides a diaper genie. I am anti-diaper pail, diaper genie, all sorts of them. I don't think they're necessary, and I would never recommend them to a new mom. Okay, this next one is a high chair. I don't like a high chair for most homes. I prefer a booster seat at the kitchen table. Okay, it's gonna depend on your home for this one for sure. Now, some high chairs are like 8-in-1 and you can make it a booster or a high chair. I don't like those. Those to me are the worst because you have extra parts and pieces that you then have to store. Get the item you want and use it for what you want to use it for. So we went the booster seat route. Absolutely love it. It doesn't take up room in our kitchen except for the chair that it already sits in, which was there before we had a kid. Now, if you add a high chair in your kitchen, it could get very crowded very fast and can kind of be like overstimulating in the room. Also, I like our kids to eat at the table with us. I like to feel like a family and not have them isolated over in a high chair. So for me, the booster seat is the way to go. Now, when it comes to a booster seat, I do love the one we have because there's a tray that actually stores underneath it. So if we want them to have their own tray, maybe they're in like a banging on the table phase and we're like, okay, quit nicking up the table. Put that tray on, there you go. You kind of have that option. But as they're doing well at eating at the table with you, take that tray off, push them right up to the table, and there you go. Also, this is much easier to take to other people's homes if you need to. Now, I do recommend getting a travel booster seat, but that's another story. Anywho, so I recommend the booster seat over the high chair Now, for some families, some homes, and some kitchens, a high chair might be the better choice. Okay, so do what fits you and your situation. All right. I will also link all these products in the description, even though I'm not recommending them. If they do feel right to you, I will have those available, of course, just to be kind. And then I will have a list of products that I typically recommend. They're not mentioned here today, but they're things that I strongly stand behind. So check the description for all those links. Next, we have a bath time thermometer. I think this is incredibly silly. Put your hand in the water. You can feel if the temperature is right. If you're concerned for any reason that the water might be a little too warm or a little too cold, keep your hand in the water longer and just keep feeling and be like, does this start to feel hot? Does it start to feel cool? It's not that hard. It's not rocket science, okay? I don't think this item is necessary. This item would always be a baby registry skip for me. Up next are little baby shoes. This could be a boy or girl. I put some girl ones here, but if they cannot walk, I don't believe they really need shoes. Just my opinion. Now there are some little cloth ones that sort of like Velcro on little, I call those more like booties. If it's winter and you need something to keep them warm, sure. But if it's like Easter and Christmas and you want them for holiday pictures, maybe, but on the daily, you are not going to put shoes on a little baby. They fall off like almost instantly. And even for the holidays, for the Easter, for the Christmas, I still wouldn't necessarily worry about shoes. If I had hand-me-downs given to me, we'd put them on for the pictures and maybe put them on for like going to church. But I would never go out and spend my money or have it on my baby registry for somebody else to buy. So I don't recommend shoes until they're ready to walk, unless they are just like to keep their feet warm. Okay, something like this, very, very impractical. And also I feel like in pictures, sometimes the shoes look awkward. So I'm anti-shoes until they are walking for the most part. Okay, next we have a bottle drying rack. I picked one. It could be any bottle drying rack. I don't like them. I just don't. I will say I was a breastfeeding mama, so I have to put that in. But even if we did use bottles, I would have just thrown them on a towel. Okay, let them air dry. The towel can go away. Once you get one of these bottle dryers, it's going to sit out forever. Babies are using bottles for a year, sometimes longer if you let them. And then before you know it, they're doing sippy cups and you're putting the sippy cups on there. Or you have multiple children in a row, so it's just constantly out forever on your countertop. This is an example of when people say baby stuff takes over your home. You're choosing for it to take over your home. So I would skip the bottle drying rack. I would do a towel, put them on the towel. Now, if you're like, oh, we knock over the bottles and they fall on the floor. Next option I would do is get a mixing bowl, throw a towel in the mixing bowl, and then throw them on the mixing bowl. And just kind of shake them around throughout the day and they'll dry. Okay? Also, a lot of people are getting like bottle sterilizers that come with a dryer. So I don't know. I just would not get this item. Never in a million years would I. Next, we have the NutriBullet baby version, baby blender with like baby food storage things. Do you have a blender? If you have a blender, forget this. If you have a food processor, forget this. You don't need this, okay? What you can do is use those items you already own to make the baby food. And then to store it, you could get some small little Tupperware containers if you want to. Or you could get a ice tray or even a silicone mold. They make all sorts of shapes and sizes. You can do big ones, little ones. You don't need this though, okay? You truly, truly don't. Use a blender, use a food processor, get the job done. All right, now we have a wipe warmer. So I would never get a wipe warmer. First of all, does it plug in? It would make me nervous in the baby's room to have something like additionally plugged in and something that has like moisture in it plugged in. I don't know, wouldn't love that. What if the wipes got so dry that then they for some reason it sparked a fire, whatever. Also, your baby is not going to always be changed at home. You're going to be on the go when they're in public, at grandma's house, anywhere. They're going to have cold wipes. So why are we getting them a wipe warmer? I get wanting your baby to be cozy and comfortable, maybe nighttime changes, stuff like that. But guess what? Sometimes you actually want your baby to wake up. Sometimes you want them to wake up for that feeding or that nursing session if you're breastfeeding. You don't want to keep them asleep. You want to be like, hey, wake up, time to eat. Then you can go back to sleep. So I would skip a wipe warmer. I think they can be a safety hazard. I think they are unnecessary, waste of plastic, and they could dry out your wipes and you could go through more wipes because you are drying them out. It also is another step of loading the wipes in there versus I just keep the wipes in the original container and we're good to go. And finally, we have Dreft laundry detergent. So people buy this, it's like the baby laundry detergent. But guess what? If I do mine with, let's just say Tide, right before them, it's gonna blend, it's gonna mix. Also, who is baby laying on all day? Mom and dad. My clothes were done in Tide. So what's the difference, okay? I say everyone in the house should be on the same laundry detergent for the most part. It just makes sense if it's all going in the same washer. And also, if the laundry detergent you are using is not good enough for a baby, why are you using it? You know what I mean? Maybe you should question that a little bit more. So I don't believe in getting Dreft. just my opinion. I am not a doctor. I am not an allergist. I am not a specialist. I am just a mom. So bear that in mind. Alrighty, there you have it, 11 baby items you can most definitely skip. I hope this helps you feel a little more confident in your baby registry, and just remember, keep it simple. Your baby needs you more than anything. So don't worry about having every piece of baby gear. And if you're still feeling a little bit lost or want some personalized help with your baby registry, go check out a link in the description as well as in the pinned comment, where I offer baby registry services that can help you get through this process stress-free. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a great day.